Yeah, awesome. Well, we just want to welcome you to today's global book launch. And I'm here with new author Victoria Rockstraw. That's German. Did I do okay?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And her new book, which is called Good Night Son. And I'm excited about this book. Let me just tell you a little bit about Victoria and then we'll go further. But she loves to spend her creative energy working with children and writing stories and visiting new places. So she is a German preschool and kindergarten teacher. Listen, I have the utmost respect for teachers in this day. So you are teaching one of my favorite ages. She devotes her time off to exploring new places and writing books. And Victoria is a member of Author Academy Elite and has authored 6 books on the platform Wattpad. But these are the one we're talking about today is a fun little book, and we have a book video to just show you a little bit about this book before I start interviewing Victoria.
Did you know that the moon and the sun can hug each other? No? Then watch out! Look! It gets even dark when they hug each other. But that's not everything. Join Ellie on the adventure when the sun likes to hide behind the moon.
Oh, that is the cutest little video. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to hear more about this little book, Good Night Son. So, okay, the first question on everybody's, I think everybody's probably wondering, what inspired you to write this book?
All right, before I start with the question, I wanted to say hello too. I'm so excited to be here. And I got the idea one time on vacation. I was in Spain with my family, and we did a trip to Sevilla. That's a city in Spain. And the tour guide explained that Catalina is the Spanish name for moon, and Lorenza is the Spanish name for the sun. And the funny thing was, when we flew back to Germany, the sun and the moon were on the same high when the plane took off, and that gave me the idea of the book. Yeah.
That is awesome. I'm so glad that you stopped me and said hello, because do you want to say anything to our audience that is watching, because this is a big day for you. So, I mean, congratulations on your new book, and just this is actually your first published book, correct?
Yes, that's right. That's my first published book. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's watching. And hello to Kim, because I saw a comment from her.
Yes. So you probably have friends watching, and they'll be watching later on.
Yeah.
So this is a great, and I did not realize when we were getting this all together, I did not realize that you were located in Germany. So it's exciting. So this is truly my first global author, to have fun to watch your book come alive, and just big congratulations. This is a big day for you. And I have a feeling this is the first of many book launches for you, because this book looks absolutely adorable. And I want to keep asking you questions, because I'm really curious about this. But who would you say this book is for?
The book is written for preschool and kindergarten kids, and they can read it with their parents. Or if you are a teacher, a preschool and kindergarten teacher, then you can use it also in class to read the story with the kids. And there are also riddles in the book that you can include in the lesson when you teach that kind of topic. Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. So did you find that children, I mean, they are more curious and they still have this ability to have an imagination. Do you find that they helped you make this the book that it is now? Just in their questions and their curiosity?
Oh yes, of course. I I think when you work with children or you have children, then you have a different view how the world is or works, and that makes it so much easier to write a children book.
Yeah, it does. And you're surrounded by children. So that just has to inspire you to do something that just encourages them to let their minds explore. But so when your readers are parents, but then they're reading to their children. So what do you hope readers take away from this little book called Good Night Son?
Well, my hope is that the children understand how the solar eclipse works, or actually what it is, and it's so concept that that it's easy or has easy explanations, and it's also written without stereotypes, because sometimes yeah, science is more, it's kind of like more science is more for boys and not for girls. But actually, the book is written with a girl. So I wanted to reach more readers with that. So it doesn't have that. So
That's
yeah,
good.
I hope that are my hopes, what they're learning from the book.
Now, I know I'm going off the questions a little bit here, but as a little girl, were you curious in the eclipse and the things, in the solar system?
Oh yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, every girl is different, and of course, some girls are like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm more into Barbies and that kind of things. But of course, there are kids who like that too. And the funny thing is that I have a friend. She has a baby, and the funny thing was the
Mhm.
baby liked the cover because it's so cute. It was so adorable to see it. She didn't know what the book even was about.
Yeah.
She just looked at the cover, so it is so cute that most of the girls are interested because of the colors at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, it's an adorable book cover. Did you create that?
No, an illustrator made it for me. She did also the illustrations and the cover.
Wow, it is adorable. I can see how it reaches out to children right away. So, well, let me ask you this. Okay, so there's a lot of books out there on the eclipse, solar eclipse, solstice, different things like that. But what makes your book different than the other books on the same topic of solar eclipse?
I think it's just the fact that it's a fiction book. Most of the science books for kids are really seldom fiction books. There are more like non-fiction books,
Yeah.
and I think it's more interesting when it's kind of included in a story. Actually, that makes it more interesting for kids.
Well, yeah, they've always said if you want to be a speaker, that you need to have stories because people remember stories where they don't remember other things. So, children, I taught my kids through music and through stories. So, I did a little bit of homeschooling, but I would teach them that way, and they remembered. And to this day, they still remember some of the things I taught them through singing it or through a story, and it really does help. But okay, so
Yeah.
it really does. So okay, let's pretend that you are in an elevator and you hear some
Yeah.
people behind you talking about your book. What would you hope to hear them say about your book?
Well, my hope, what I would say would be that the book is so interesting that you are hooked up from the beginning until the end, or it's a great learning book for kids. Yeah, I think that's what I would love to hear from other people if I heard them talking.
Yeah, that it's a great book for kids to learn about solar eclipses. Okay, so I couldn't help it when I started learning a little bit about your book. I started researching when the next solar eclipse was. And I was excited to see that we have a huge one coming in America in, I believe it's April, let's see, April 8th of 2024. So it's, this is 7 years after we just had one go across America, and now it's coming across the other way for a big X. Oh, well. But did you plan this to release this book right before an eclipse? Because there's also another one, October 14th of this year, and that's just a few weeks away. So, well, I guess it's a month away. But did you plan that?
Um, I think it was a little bit coincident at some point, but I kind of like the fact that it is the case, even it was not that planned at some point. But yeah, I kind of like it
Well,
that it
somebody
is
was
now how it
planning it
is.
for you. Yeah. But I mean, I was looking at this and I'm going, man, if you have grandchildren or you have children and you got an eclipse coming, this is the book to order because it's done in a fictional way. It's fun and it's very well done. And I was always, as a mother, always looking for books that help me explain in a creative way what was happening in our world. So I think you've done that with Goodnight Sun. I think you've really done that for the solar eclipse, and it's a book that they can use over and over and over, and they'll remember. They'll probably be teaching their kids later on down the road. Okay, so let me just ask you this because this book is going to resonate with a lot of people. I believe it's going to resonate with a lot of people, especially with all the solar eclipses coming up. And when they does resonate, do you have a way that uh, your readers can connect with you? Is there a way that they can connect or they can get more things beside the book? Do you have like little giveaways, or you mentioned something about a memory game? Can you explain what that looks like?
Uh, yes, I can. It's basically a memory game with 16 cards. And yeah, that has pictures, illustrations from the book, and then you play memory like you usually do, just with the illustration from the book. And yeah,
Yeah.
you can use it in kindergarten, you can use it also at home. It's up to your choice. But I think, or my thought was, it's a great addition to the book, because every kid loves actually memory or likes memory. That's a typical game that people play with their kids,
Right.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably good
And
for adults too. Yeah. Did you hear me? I said it's probably
yeah.
good for adults too. We need memory
Yes,
games.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So the memory game just is kind of like, do you have a website? And I believe that Tanisha is kind of showing just different websites, uh, your website that comes up, but you also would talk to me a little bit about tattoos that help the kids. So how do these help? And tell us a little bit about those.
Right. That are tattoos that can glow in the darks. One tattoo has the earth on it, and the other one, on the other tattoo, you can see the sun and the moon. Um, and yeah, that you can put them on the skin, and when it's dark, they glow. It's kind of cool. I checked it out, so it's kind of impressive. I
Mhm.
thought it's kind of funny because well, the solar eclipse is when it's dark, so I thought, well, that's a good addition to that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Well, I was just reading one of the comments here. It says that Kim was talking about she bought 10 books to share with friends and families. And so hey, you can have an eclipse party and buy a bunch of your books and read it before the eclipse, and then everybody has that in their mind. I think that's a great idea. I might do that.
I
But
think
if
that
you
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're part of a homeschool group, or even if you're a teacher that has, little ones, the grade schools to the kindergarten and the preschool, this would be great for children. And I think it'd be something they'd really enjoy. Now, where can people find your book as well? I've got a lot more questions, though. We're going to go off the road here with questions. But where can they find your book?
They can buy it on Amazon already as an ebook and as a paperback. And on my website, I think it's a goodnightsunlaunchteam.com.
Okay.
There you can buy the hardcover version at the moment. Yes.
So you have a hardcover.
And I like that version more because it's, yeah, I can show you. Wait.
Yes, will
There
you
it is.
show us? That is awesome. Okay, so the hardcover, just as a mommy of 4, let me just say, hardcover is the one to get because it holds together much better. It
Right.
can enjoy.
That's true.
Especially
I
if you're
learned that too.
Yeah, you've got to have the hardcover. So that you did it through Author Academy Elite, and you did the hardcover, but you do have the soft cover as well.
Yes, I do have that.
Okay. But as a mom, let me just say the hardback is the way to go here.
Yeah, I agree. It is more stable. I learned it too.
Yeah, definitely with children. And at this age, they want to feel that book. And it's something that they're going to love to carry around with them and put in their backpacks and everything else. But now let me ask you this again. Why do you think people need this book for their children?
Well, I think it's a great book as a good night story. So you can read it as a good night story as well. And I think you can also include it or use it as a project if you want that, because like I said, children are really curious about that. And yeah, I think that's the good opportunity to to support it. I think that's a great word.
Yeah, that's okay. I agree. 100%. Now, you had someone that said it's a great combination of science and can you put that back up, Tanisha? Yeah, the book is so wonderful. The combination of science and fantasy is very well done. Can you give us a glimpse into that? What she means by that comment? Because it's making me very curious about this.
Sure. Thank you, by the way, Janina. I really appreciate that. And yeah, it's kind of like built up. The book is built up and combined with science and fantasy. And the solar eclipse is explained for the younger kids as a hug. So it's basically like that if they hug each other, and then the kids can follow along what happens when there's a total solar eclipse, and then they can see how big is the moon and how big is the sun. And on the next page, it explains that it's dark and the birds go to sleep, or animals in general. So I think, that's the best explanation for that.
Yeah,
I can show also some pictures.
Yes, we would love that. I would love that. Yes.
Wait, I need to find the page first.
Now Lynn has something. Lynn says, I always love sharing Eclipse with my kids. They loved it too. It was the only time they were allowed to stay up late and be out in the yard in the middle of the night. So you had the lunar eclipse. That's fun. Yeah. So hey, I've got a question. Since you know about solar eclipses and you're trying to find that picture, are there more solar eclipses or are there more lunar with the moon eclipses? Do you know?
Good question. I honestly can't answer the question exactly because I'm more focused on the solar eclipse, and I find it more interesting than the moon eclipse. But I can imagine that maybe moon eclipses are more often.
Yeah,
But I believe so. But I'm not quite sure.
Well, I think you're right. I think you're 100% right, because I remember I've only experienced 2 solar eclipses in my lifetime. And they're very unique. And I was a little girl on one of them, and they put me in a box, and then you could see it. You couldn't look at the sun. We didn't have the sunglasses they have now. But you put you in a box, and you could see the sun, and you could see the moon coming across it. But this last time we had it was beautiful how the crickets started coming out and making noise, and everything went dark, and then it started coming back. It was absolutely amazing. So I can't wait to get a hold of this book and share it with my kids. So now I'm going to start having grandkids here in a little bit. So my kids are bigger. But okay, so did you find that picture?
Yeah, I did. Wait. That is the picture from the total solar eclipse. There you can see this. Ooh, it's confusing in the camera. That they have the same size. For example, and then that shows the half solar eclipse, or the half arc. And then you can see the difference, that the sun is bigger than the moon. And that's the reason why you can see more of the sun. And there was also one page, here, where you can see the typical signs, or what when we have a solar eclipse, so that it's dark, and that the animals are going to sleep. So yeah, the book is built up in this like that the whole time.
Oh wow, those are amazing pictures. Now I remember, do you have in there where it talks about the ring? So there's like an engagement ring the solar eclipse has around it.
Yeah.
I see it in one of those pictures. So that is very cool. That is very cool. Well, okay, so we're really excited for this one. Yes, that's the ring,
one, right?
And it's really
It is.
And right before it goes, it looks like a big engagement ring that has been given to the world. So yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Who did your illustrations? Did you, or do you have somebody else?
No, an illustrator did it for me. I found one on Fiverr, the platform where you can find a lot of services, and I really like the platform. And thank you for Alena Karabach. She did the illustrations.
She did the illustrations. You can find some very talented people on Fiverr. You really can. I'm glad you said that. Okay, so we know that this book is coming out, but you have a lot of other books in you. Do you want to speak to the books that they possibly can also read? Because people are going to fall in love with your work, but you have some German in the German language on Wattpad that they can find. Am I correct?
Yes, that's right. I have a couple of books, and one, for example, one book is called Urlaub oder doch nicht. Well, it's basically a romance book. A gender romance. It's for adults. It's not for children, and it's about a woman who wants to go on vacation, but unfortunately, the holiday home where she wants to stay is already occupied, and then the guy and she are trying to figure out to make that work. So yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, the person who rents the apartment say no, they don't have another option, so they need to figure out how they get to along with each other. That's one story.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun book. Is that one going to be made into English here soon?
Oh yes, it should be my second book that I want to translate in English. It was actually a book that I wrote for a friend,
Yeah.
and it was an Easter present for her. That's
Yes.
the reason why I'm so engaged to translate it in English to publish it as a paperback, actually.
I love that.
And yeah, the other books, or in one book, I have a couple of short stories.
Mhm.
It's also romance, and I'm working at the moment on another book as well, but it's not published yet. And yeah, I think the other books are also more poetry.
Okay.
A couple of them. Mm,
Well,
yeah, but I
I
need to definitely work on them again to fix some bugs. But yeah, that's
well,
are basically the books that you can read there.
yeah, I think we're going to hear a lot about you, Victoria. You sound very talented and very creative. And now that I know that you love to explore new places, that tells me everything I need to know, because you probably get inspired in all these new places that you go to. So that
Oh
is good.
yeah.
Okay, so I know we're going to wrap it up right here, but I want to just give another plug for this book, because in Goodnight Sun, at the end of it, readers can find some riddles and some experiments that explain how you can do your solar eclipse in your own room. So these are just all these little gold mines that you have packed away in this book. So I would say to everyone watching, if we've got several eclipses coming up. If you've got children, if you've got grandchildren, this is a great gift. I would order more than one, to get this in your library. And I know I'm going to order this. This is just you've done a wonderful, beautiful job on a little
Thank
book
you.
for children. And I think it does a great job. I can't wait to read it more. Um, well, do you have anything? You can find this book on Amazon. So, number one, you can look for it in Goodnight Sun. And then also, where can they find you where can they find you, Victoria?
Mm,
Again.
oh, yeah, here. Well, of course, I still have my website.
Okay.
Exactly. And there's also a website where you can buy the book as well. It is goodnightsunloungeteam.com. And there
Okay.
you can buy the paperback, the hardcover, and the memory. Um, and yeah, just the memory by itself. So yeah, it's
Okay.
also a website where you can write me. It has a contact form. And of course, you can find me also on Instagram. I have actually two accounts. One is my lounge team, Good Night Sun Lounge Team. And I would like to post there some more updates because I have so much more ideas what I want to do.
Awesome.
And yeah, thank you.
Oh
It
my goodness.
is. And I have also a personal account that you can find also on Facebook. It's we.r.autor. And on that account, I also post a couple of updates for the book. Yeah. Oh. Oh no. Oops.